Hi there. Thank you for tuning in to Grow Your Gifts. Today's topic is Let's Talk Montessori. So you could tell that I like Montessori by the way I said it. Um, I'm just going to go into my experience with Montessori because, everyone can look it up. And especially if you look at the 5 methods or principles or areas, I don't remember what it's called, but the 5 something of Montessori, you get the gist of it. And there's always Maria Montessori, the myth, the legend, the lady. I don't know her personally. She's long passed, so I can't say this way or that way. But according to her philosophy, everything I've learned from early childhood education in college and then in the classroom. So that's what I want to do today, is just share my experience. So we finally have a nice, cool, crisp, chilly, happy November. If you want to give an arbitrary label and date and name to this now moment, you can. So happy now moment. And someone once told me that cool, chilly air is like the melting ice cap. Very cleansing, clean, refreshing, crisp air, and you can breathe in that nice loveliness. Of course, everything's running, my eyes are running, my nose are running, and everything, but after I heard that, I never thought of the cold wind in the same way again. So now I invite it, and I welcome it, and I thank it. Oh, it's so nice. Just make sure you're dressed warm enough and in layers. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling it in my ears, right here on the top. But other than that, I'm feeling good. It's not too cold, and temperature changes dramatically when those clouds come in and the sun is gone. So yeah, I'll be doing some Wim Hof while I do this quick one about Montessori. So yeah, my experience with Montessori began in school. And it was mind-blowing to me at the time, because I was like, wow, this is actually really resonating with me and my own natural approach to childcare and children. And my first experience was in a toddler room, and that was mind-blowing as well. So this is when I was working full-time, and but I was only in that center for a short time before I found, a different center that I liked. And I love this Montessori place too, but for location and other reasons, I had to find a different place to work at. But when I got there, I was like, whoa, just looking at the classroom environment, it was totally different. Okay, I do want to preface this by saying, with Maria Montessori's methods, with anything really, you can use it for good or you can use it for bad. So it's up to you. In my experience, it's always been good and positive, and very conscious, with awareness, with a kind and loving intention. So that, I've been very lucky to experience Montessori in that sort of way. And there's something else, but it flew out of my head, and maybe it'll come back. So in the toddler classroom, for example, during mealtime, the children would go and get their placemat, and on their placemat with their name, there's an outline of where their plate goes, of where their cup goes, of where their spoon goes. And mind you, these are children around 2 years old, really little, so they're walking on their own and everything. But it was really, really, I can't stress this enough, how mind-blowing and cool it was that they're doing all of this independently on their own. So they're so nicely lining up, better than some adults I've seen, getting their placemat, knowing which one is theirs. Maybe they have a special sticker on there or something with their name as well, so they can recognize their name. And going to the table, they know where they need to sit and putting their placemat there, and then they go get their certain dish that they need to get by themselves, put it on the outline. Oh my gosh. And they were just like, it wasn't military style, it was almost Zen style from what I observed. It was so peaceful, so calm, and so just like harmony in motion. I was like, what am I observing right now? This is like really cool, man. I liked it. Excuse me. So the other, it was a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly what they did, but there was a lot of self-serving as well, and like everything was child size, so it made it easier for them to serve themselves and kind of pass things around, which was again so awesome. I've never seen this anywhere after that either. They even had like a little water station at a table that was at their level, with a jug that was the right size for them, with cups that were the right size for them, and they learned how to pour themselves their own water, and they'd only go halfway, and they knew how to clean it up if they spilled it. So there was like something to wipe the table, something to wipe the floor. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was so cool that they are capable at this age if you show them step by step in a very loving way with the right materials and equipment. That was really something. The other way I learned about Montessori was in a play-based center. So it was mainly play-based center, and it was just in the preschool rooms. And so they kind of sprinkled in Montessori techniques as well, which was really cool. And what I took away from that was that there was a beginning, a middle, and an end. Just like a writer tells a story, or a play or a movie. Some movies I'm like, I didn't get any closure, where's the proper ending? But that's just me. So for example, it was again wonderful to see, because there was no telling the child what to do or anything. It's like they had more choice, and they got to choose. They knew that this was Montessori time, and these children were around like 3 years old, and they had a special Montessori mat. I don't know what to call it, but it's like a little wider than a yoga mat, and about the same length, and you roll it up. It's like this nice fabric, and sturdy and stuff, but not too heavy. So those were all kept in rolls on a shelf. And so they would grab a mat, they would unroll their mat, so they'd pick their spot on the carpet somewhere, on the rug, and then they go get their Montessori activity, and they'd lay out the bowls, or whatever they were doing, and they would pick up the tongs, and then they would transfer one thing to another. So that's helping to exercise their pincer grip. And they were not easy things. They were like slippery kind of, I don't know what they were, jewels or something from the dollar store. And you pick it up, transfer it from one bowl to the other using the tongs. And these are all things that strengthen those self-help skills, serving yourself food and different things like that. So there were so many other little Montessori activities like that set up, like lacing boards, different things. But they didn't just leave the activity there when they're done. When they're ready to get a new activity, and sometimes the educator would be there to facilitate, educator, teacher, whatever you want to call them, they'd be there to facilitate and say, okay, well, before you get a new activity, remember, what do you need to do? And they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll clean this up and then put this away, and then I'll go get that other one that I want to play with. And again, so peaceful, so quiet. Like, there was group playtime, social interaction, there was small group time, there was circle time, there was all these different things. But Montessori time, I got that overall very zen, peaceful, that feeling from them that they felt like they were in control, that they got choices, that they were learning something, that they had time to themselves, like maybe they were processing things. I don't know, but it was really nice to see that with the preschool age group. So yeah, then they'd put away the bowls where they go. They have, so on the shelf as well, and this is just kind of standard nowadays with early childcare centers, they have the picture of the item. So that really helps the children say, oh, where does this go? Especially if they're new to the classroom. Oh, okay, it goes here. Just match the picture, right? And so they know where to put the bowls and those tongs back, you know, and carrying them and everything. And then they roll up the mat and put that back. So that's it. I didn't have too much experience with Montessori, but the little bit that I did see, I really, really loved. And the thing I was thinking of, it's not coming back to me. That's okay. And just from yesterday, I remembered something. I was years ago thinking about, Halloween and pumpkins, and I just came across this as I was studying Ayurveda and doshas and eating for your constitution, and then going through high pranic foods. So that just means foods that contain a lot of prana. Prana is just chi, or life force, energy. I mean, if you've seen Kung Fu Panda, you get it. Maybe that's exaggeration, but it's a cartoon. So the movies. So with pumpkins, I couldn't believe it, but I could believe it at the same time, that they have one of their food that has almost one of the highest amount of prana. That means that when you're eating it, you're cooking it, eating it, you're getting that much, life force energy type of thing. So with Halloween, I was like, oh no, and they're just like gutting it and using it for decoration. My goodness, like we ought to be eating it more, Not to say some people don't do that. They do save the inside and make soup, or they save the seeds and eat those, and that's awesome. But yeah, that culture of just like, to me, it was just like, wow, that's not showing the pumpkin the respect that it deserves. That's my personal opinion, I've carved many a pumpkin and had fun doing it. It's not about judgment, it's just observation that I've made, and thought it was interesting. Yeah, and just my love for pumpkins, just even if you're around them, and if you go to a pumpkin patch or a farm, or you have one by your doorstep or in your home, it's nice to just say thank you, pumpkin. So how that works, I think it's just absorbs light. I don't know the science. But yeah, I thought that was fun to share, and that's all my intention was with that, is just fun, interesting, cool. However you want to use the fruits and vegetables in your life is up to you. All right, so yeah, I'm going to sign off. That's it for today. I wish you well.